This list is cool too because it shows you where they were like ranked lowest. They had Kobe. Some people put Kobe as low as 18 on the list. It's
How?
Kobe is Kobe's the hardest NBA player in history to rank.
But how?
But
Like, what
between
makes
like
them hard?
everybody, because you'll meet people that have them at 18, you'll meet people that have them at 2. There's like there's no other NBA player has the range like Kobe does of where they get ranked all time. He's the hardest player of all time to rank.
GMLB family, welcome back to another episode of Good Morning Let's Basketball. I am your host, Mike Miles. On my right, that's my co-host, the founder and the brains of the operation. That's Vic.
What's up? We went from Lob City Clippers to the Unction.
Dude, I threw myself off. We're in different positions, so I did the intro out of order. Below me, that is the self-proclaimed podcast equilibrium and viral Dunkin' barista, Daniel. What's up?
How we doing, y'all? Had to take about what looks like 30 minutes of preparations for technical difficulties before the episode started, so hopefully we're good.
I take full responsibility for that, by the way. That was not your fault. That was mine. And finally, in the bottom right, that is Big Macedonia and GMLB's chief of security from the island of relevancy. That's main event Kev. I didn't realize you added that into the document.
I only add in facts. What else is Scary Hours is upon us, aka season 4, boys. Let's go.
Dude, that caught me so off guard because I like pasted in your normal intro and I'm reading through it and it goes to a second line. And I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, what did he add? From the island of relevancy. That's a great addition. All right, GMLB family. Today, we're going to be talking about some trade stuff. Actually, some non-trade stuff, some failures by franchises to sign key players. First of all, the Nets not coming to an agreement with Cam Thomas. Second, Jonathan Kuminga. And then third, we'll talk about the ESPN top 100 list a little bit. Or I'm sorry, not the ESPN, the Bleacher Report top 100 list a little bit. Bleacher Report just dropped their top 100 players of all time. So we'll be going through the list and ranking them and seeing what's really up with that, see if there's any bad placements, just kind of go through and review and react. And after that, we do have who he play for. It's making a return after the offseason with a bunch of moves. We're bringing back who he play for. Fellas, who was the champion last time? Do we remember?
It
It's
was
been a
probably
while.
Kevin.
It was Kevin.
I think so.
We don't even remember who the champion was. That's how long ago we did this. But someone said Kevin. Victor said Kevin, so we're going to go with Kevin. All
I'm
right.
someone.
Yeah, Victor is someone. All right, let's get into the first topic here, fellas. The Detroit Pistons have now become the frontrunners to land Cam Thomas from the Nets after the Nets apparently lowballed Cam Thomas with an offer of 1 year, 5.99 million, coming after Thomas had been seeking a minimum of 30 million. Thomas's second offer stands at 2 years, 28 million. But here's the question, fellas. Is he worth it? Yes or no? We'll start with Kevin.
Some NBA executives went out and said that and I quote, he is a bench player looking for star money, which is kind of crazy. If he goes to Detroit, I think he'd probably come off the bench. Well, at least he should. That's a very strong bench if he did. But is the question where is are you asking if he's worth 2 year 28 million? I'll say yes to
Yes.
that. I'll say yes to that. But when he said 30 million, something in my heart tells me he's asking for like 30 mil a year.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
what
going
he
to be
is.
that I assume that's probably what he was preferred,
Yeah.
but I'm going to say no to that one. It's a no for me.
I just feel like the sample size maybe isn't enough because we haven't seen him be really. I mean, he only played 25 games last season. The year before that, 66. I feel like he's constantly getting injured and not playing fully, like the full season and stuff. Um, I mean, he's a great scorer. Don't get me wrong, but I just feel like there's a little bit to his game to where he can improve, and I don't know if I would want to pay 30 million a year for just the score.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat. I mean, and to me, what comes up too is like you're going to Detroit, and Detroit, I don't think is what's the word? Very willing to give Cam Thomas $30 million to try to swing their team the right way. Yeah, it just I don't think he's worth that much, but he's definitely worth some money. And like Kevin said, 28, 2 year, that seems a little bit more on par with what he deserves.
We'll
Mm.
say as far as like what we've seen from him, kind of going back to what Vic said about sample size. It's like, yeah, he can score the ball, but it's like the NBA. A lot of people can do that, right? Like, I haven't really seen a whole lot of playmaking from this guy. Granted, he does play for Brooklyn. I'll give him a little bit of slack here, but he's not the biggest guy out there. He's going to be a liability on defense, whether he can somewhat stay in front of someone or not. He's small. End of story. And it's just, I mean, seeing what everyone else has gotten, it's kind of like I'll call it the Tobias Harris curse. Because I feel like, well, Tobias Harris got that. Like, can I get something? So it's just it's kind of like an effect of seeing what other people have and what they're getting paid.
Yeah. Go ahead, Vic.
Another thing too is, oh, okay, say he gets traded to, or he gets signed to the Pistons. Do you guys think he's going to be starting, or do you guys like? I don't even know how that would work in my opinion. I just feel like him being on the Pistons, I really don't know how that would work with Cade Cunningham. What do you guys think about that?
I would say he'd probably have to come off the bench because he can't play point guard. They have Cade there. And let's say you move Cade to shooting guard. That's not a good move because he's a good playmaker. A little bit heavy on the turnovers. We saw that in the playoffs, but the kid's still young. He has time for that. But if you put him in at shooting guard, he's like what? 6'2" on stilts, maybe. Like it just doesn't really fit. And so he would have to come off the bench. And I'd like the other options they have at shooting guard better. You know, they could throw what's his face, Jaden Ivey there, or if they want to throw Thompson there. Those are a lot better options to fit like a role around Cade Cunningham than Cam Thomas would be. So if he wants to get paid a little bit more money, but come off the bench, I feel like that might be a better route for him. And if he can come off the bench in Detroit for 2 year, 28 million, he'd be stupid not to take that.
Yeah. My thing with this is like we do know there's an opening now with the Malik Beasley drama. So there's definitely an opening there for a guard, but Jaden Ivey, of course, is returning. They do have Karis LeVert on the roster right now. Not sure what's going to happen with him. He may be gone by the time the season starts, but I mean, I could see him like contributing. My thing is like, is the Pistons' problem really just offense? Like, I feel like they actually played. Obviously, defense was their identity, but they played like a pretty decent offense. If anyone, Vic, maybe can pull up the where they ranked an offensive rating last season, because this might be a fever dream. I don't think it is, but I mean, they have Duncan Robinson on the roster too now. Like they got like guys who fit in roles a lot better than Cam Thomas. Like this isn't the Charlotte Hornets who like have LaMelo Ball just doing everything. Like it's not the Brooklyn Nets like what Cam Thomas is on right now. It's like this team is actually competitive and playing for like a championship, and with the East wide open, I don't see this being a profitable needle moving deal for them.
So last year I looked it up. They were 10th in offensive rating, 109.4.
Yeah, like they were top 10 offense in the league.
And then defensive rating, they were third with 109.8.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't
Yeah.
think this is their guy, in my opinion.
No, it's not at all. And like
Oh,
they were super competitive last year with the Knicks in the playoffs. Like see him go away from it. I don't know. They have like a booger in my nose or something. Why is everyone laughing at me?
No,
no,
Vic did
because
That's
his
you,
Vic
Vic.
did the GMLB patented Vic drops a stat and then says the wrong thing and has
Hold
to
on.
correct the stat.
so that was playoffs, dude.
I
I
mean,
That
that's
was
was
gonna
still
play.
say
speak.
10 and
Okay,
3, like their record really did not show that this
so
past year.
It's still
all right.
worth something though, to be fair. That is still worth something, but keep going.
Anyways, regular season they were 14th with 114.6 offensive rating. Defensive rating they were 10th with 112.5.
I think it still stands though.
It's still
I think
solid.
Karis LeVert is like a better move still than Cam Thomas, I think.
Weren't we kind
That's
of
true.
talking about on Sunday just how many teams kind of like aren't in need of like guards right now? Just how many teams have like an abundance of them. So for Cam Thomas to like ask for more in a league where that's not necessarily needed as much, and the only team that really is showing him interest, he's like, nah, I want more. I don't know. It's a little ridiculous.
I mean, it is a pretty I feel like it's always been kind of a pretty guard heavy league. Say the most. I mean, you're always going to need good guards on your team for one to handle the ball and to have some kind of offense going on. But to me, it sounds like he doesn't really care to go to a contender. I don't know Cam Thomas. I'm not trying to put words in the guy's mouth or anything, but these young
Yeah.
guys especially, they want to get paid first, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As far as like other franchises you could see him join a decent winning team, could have added some youth to LA. That would have been nice to Clippers when I say LA.
Mm-hmm.
Denver lost Brody. They could definitely use someone off the bench like that. That would have been pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, kind of back to like the Detroit take, like how competitive they were with the Knicks. I just feel like experience is just that one thing that they need. And adding another really young guard that can only score, it's not really pushing you in the right direction.
Yeah. Definitely agree with that. I don't think it's the best fit for Thomas on the Pistons. Um, yeah, I think that's just really it. Uh, and Kevin, you mentioned like the Nuggets would have been a good fit. I think the Nuggets went and got all the pieces they needed. I think he would have been a good fit like last season, like
Last season, yeah,
um
he would have been perfect. For this upcoming year, I mean, Miami isn't looking, it's kind of looking like a dumpster fire. If you want to go hoop for another dumpster fire team and make a little bit of money, no income tax, Miami should where he should have looked. I don't think he would have competed too hard with like Davion Mitchell for that starting
Yeah.
point guard role. He's a hooper, but
The
he
Bucks
could have
could
beat him
use
out
someone
there.
as well. They got, I think, who's their point guard right now? It's a young guy. Can't think of his name right now.
Their point guard right now is probably like Ryan Rollins or something.
Yes, it's Ryan Rollins.
That's their
Do you
starting point guard right now. That's actually crazy.
Yes.
It seems like this is a perfect situation for Tyus Jones to come in and everyone claims it's the best move of the offseason. Another perfect scenario.
do you guys want to hear some of the other potential trades that I
Yeah,
found?
go
All
ahead.
right. So we got Charlotte Hornets proposed trade details. Hornets received Cam Thomas. The Nets received Josh Green, Pat Connaughton, and the 2028 second round pick. LA Clippers swap.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it's not
Also,
good.
I'm assuming this is like a sign and trade because they'd have to sign him and then trade him first. Okay, what's the
I'm
next
not
one?
reading too much into below that, but yeah. And this is also like the most recent information. This came out July 25th. So
Okay.
Boston Celtics, Cam Thomas, Celtics receive Cam Thomas, 2027 second round pick, and the 2029 second round pick from Dallas. Brooklyn Nets receive Anthony Simons.
I like that. I'll take that. We get the young guy. I mean, he has a potential in that situation. It's like, we have Anthony Simons on the roster. What's the difference with Cam Thomas? And we get a pick for that. So I'd say that's probably a fine move.
Yeah, I feel like Simons
Last,
can probably fits a role better, but
That's what I think too. And I mean, it's not like he's that much older. I think maybe a year, 2 years.
Yeah.
Either way, when Tatum comes back, one of them's getting bounced. Who's ever on the team? What's that third trade?
Yeah. Uh, so that third trade is Golden State. Golden State would receive Cam Thomas, the 2027 second round pick from the Lakers, and then Brooklyn Nets receive Moses Moody and Buddy Hield.
I like that move. That's a really good move for the Nets, I think. I mean, Moses Moody is a super promising player with probably more upside for like a role player. Like Cam Thomas is probably a better scorer, but Moody checks a lot of the minor boxes for them. So if they did get a star, Moody would be a better supporting piece along with Hield for the first third of the season. Then he'll stop after that. But
Which one do you guys like the most out of those four? Well, we can kind of eliminate Hornets, I guess.
I'd probably say the third one. Feel
yeah,
like it's like a good scenario for every team involved. Like I feel like Brooklyn gets some pretty decent pieces out of it. Cam Thomas goes to a half booty contender, can maybe take over the reins once Curry leaves. So
Can we talk about, or yeah, I agree with the third one. Sorry. Can we talk about how I don't know if Miles, you brought this up at all, but did you bring up how the Nets offered them only 5.9 million?
Is that not the most disrespectful offer you've heard ever?
Yeah.
Because I wrote that down and I was like, is this real? I was like, is this actually real? They offered bro 6 million. It's like when I think the Clippers offered Paul George. I think he was seeking like 90 million for like a long-term deal and they offered him like it was like something so it was like 1 year 15 million or something. It was like something so disrespectful even for Paul George.
it's like only if they had known what he was going to perform like next season, 15 million would have been like the lottery for him.
That's so true.
It's
It,
Oh,
we froze. I was
oh
gonna say I should have just talked because I was gonna say in a couple of years he's gonna be reaching and searching every team for 15 million.
yeah,
yeah.
that's really true.
It's kind of like the opposite of the Dennis Schroeder thing when Dennis Schroeder got paid all that money and then ended up signing for like barely anything and he could have got a bag. But Cam Thomas's situation, they're just like very lowballing him, like very bad.
Like disrespectfully lowballing him.
Yeah,
It's like not even like a respectful lowball. Like, all
yeah.
right,
This is
let's just get the convo started. This is like disrespect. This is like you're saying you want him on the roster, but you don't want him on the roster. That's what it sounds like.
It's like we want you on the roster, but like we don't care if you like you're not here either. It was like it was similar to Austin. It was similar to Austin Reeves too when he was a free agent and he goes, "I'm a test free agency, see like where else I can get more money." But the Lakers offered him. They were the first team to offer him, and there was also the biggest offer he got. He goes, "All right, never mind, coming back to LA. They offered me the most."
I, when we were talking about this, I was reminded of the Austin Reeves situation because if I remember correctly, he was paid more than double for doing what I would assume is a lot less. I don't really remember how active Austin Reeves was, but I think he got a $14 million, 14 million a year, and I remember saying like that's absurd. But Cam Thomas is putting in all this work, and yeah, I mean that's crazy. They
Mm.
lowballed, they lowballed him into oblivion.
All right, let's move to Jonathan
wait,
Kuminga here. Go
wait,
ahead.
wait. Can I say, dude? Imagine if they keep Cam Thomas and Michael Porter Jr. Dude, they're not. They're gonna be fighting over the ball. It's gonna be the first time we
Dude,
see a jump ball on an offensive side.
dude,
That is
no
funny.
one is shooting. Nobody's taking shots.
How is this
Just
going to
perfect
affect the
basketball.
development of Day'Ron Sharp? How will Day'Ron Sharp possibly develop with these two guys on the roster? That's the real question here. All right, let's move on. The Kings and the Suns have been the most aggressive suitors for Jonathan Kuminga since his 4 week standoff with the Warriors started. The Warriors are reportedly looking for a first round pick, no bad contracts, and a young player. Is it realistic for Golden State to want all three of those things as checkboxes to trade Jonathan Kuminga?
I'm surprised they didn't throw in a pot of gold at the end of there. It's like this guy doesn't even play for your team. He shouldn't
Exactly.
care. What do you want all that for?
It's
You
a
picked them
hostage.
at 5.
I was
It
just
really
about
is.
to, this has been a hostage situation.
Poor freaking guy, man. Poor kid. Poor kid, I should say. He's young, but like they're just getting too greedy with it. It's like, all right, give this guy some minutes or let him go. Because first
Yeah.
off, you're asking for a ridiculous price. The guy has talent. He can play on your bum team over some of these other bums. Like, let him walk. Like, you gotta let him go.
It,
Yeah.
it goes back to like what Kevin was saying, but it's like the reverse of the Cam Thomas. They're like, we actually do care a lot if you're on the team or not. Like, we're letting you walk, but at the same time, we'd rather you stay on the bench.
It's
No,
like we want you on the team, but we're not going to give you away even for a great deal. We need the best deal.
I'm just like, do you guys think he actually like likes being there? Like, there's no way, right?
yeah, I think so.
I think there was a scenario maybe like 2 years ago, like his first, second year in the league. I think he asked them, like, hey, can I play on the G League? I'm not really playing right now and I really want to develop. And they said no. They're like, no, you're not going to the G League. It's like, well, can I play then? So it's it just really sucks. Like the guy has so much talent. I think he was ranked like top 3, like ESPN top 100, like high school players.
Yeah.
And he was like going through that, and now like it's this dude's like an afterthought.
This may be like one of the greatest league master classes we're getting ready to see. Like imagine, I mean, how old is Kaminga right now? He's 20, probably around
I
Tatum's
think
age, right?
23.
Oh,
No, he's like
shoot.
our age.
Jeez, okay.
Well,
he's a lot
Tatum's
younger.
only 19.
Right.
A bad joke. Bad joke.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, but no, but
Kaminga's 22. He's my age, bro. Wait, I'm
it
older than Kaminga, actually. I'm 23 now. Never mind.
yeah, I was gonna say all of us are. We're all older than Kuminga. So like what I'm getting at is what if like when Curry's getting ready to retire, they're like, all right, buddy, it's your time now. And they've just spent years developing Jonathan Kuminga to be the second coming of of LeBron James.
Behind the scenes, he just comes
Dude,
out.
I mean, I can't think of any other reason than to like keep him on this team, not playing minutes, not really winning like championship, like contributing to championship teams. And yeah, I mean, unless it's all for development, it's all for him to be passed the reins as the future of Golden State.
Yeah.
I'm in. If I was him, I'm walking into the GM's office, flapping gums. You're telling me Pods and Kevon Looney play more basketball than me? This is ridiculous. Who
Or even
else?
Gary Payton. Gary
What's
Payton the
what's
second.
what's the other idiot's name? The dude from UConn, Spencer.
Oh, Pat Spencer. Yeah, good
You're telling
point.
me this guy's playing more than me?
And I can't get traded either. Like I can't leave. It's like remember when Peyton Pritchard requested a trade and they just kept him? They just said basically like no. Or when Furkan Korkmaz requested a trade and the 76ers were literally like, we
For
don't
5
have any
years.
suitors. We don't have anyone to trade you to. So they just kept him. That's like what
He was-
Kuminga is.
Dude, he was on their trade block for 5 seasons.
They're like,
Korkmaz, that's
they're
so
like,
crazy.
what do you want us to get? Like, we can't get anything.
Forgot
Dude,
about that.
You're gonna have to wait till your contract expires, man. We can't find anything for you. Maybe don't be garbage. Basically, what they said.
Yeah, the level of patience from Kuminga has to be studied. I feel like maybe behind closed doors, like Steve Kerr is like, yo, it's gonna be you. Just wait a little bit longer. But it's like every single year.
Yeah,
You know what's
let's go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, you know what's kind of funny is the Warriors are being a little bit like the Bulls, where they'll just keep these players until their trade value is almost like barely anything to what they should be worth or would have been worth when they could have traded them at the highest. And I feel like that's the case with the Warriors right now.
Yeah, dude. I mean, when he first got in the NBA, this dude was living life. I was like, yo, I was a lottery pick. I got drafted to the Warriors. Rookie season comes around. They win the finals. He gets a ring. It's like, yo, it can't get worse than this. No, it got much worse. It's like I think he had the same amount of minutes from his rookie season when they won the finals up until now. So the dude has a ring already. So no matter how great he is in the future, whatever stats he puts up, we can be like, hey, dude has a ring. He's up there.
Yeah, it's true. Let's do some quick packages here of what's been offered for Kuminga. I'm assuming as a sign and trade. So Golden State, this wasn't an offer, so we'll save. There's one offer we got written down, but we'll do this first. Golden State has expressed interest in Keegan Murray and Keon Ellis. Are either of those guys worthy trade pieces for Jonathan Kuminga?
They probably want both.
I would say for Keegan Murray, that would be really beneficial for Golden State, but I don't see how Jonathan Kuminga elevates the Kings considering their entire roster is essentially scorers. Like DeRozan, Levine, and Sabonis are all like 20-point per game scorers. Why would Jonathan Kuminga help you in that scenario? I don't really get it.
It's like if they could all be 20-point per game scores at the same time, they'd be onto something. But then
Adding
you remember who
another,
you have, and then you're like,
yeah,
oh yeah, this isn't possible.
you just add another ball dominant guy into that lineup. I just don't see it. And Keegan Murray, I think fits too well there as the one guy who's not going to overshoot and is going to play his role and play both sides. Same with Keon Ellis. It's like you're taking
Yeah.
the glue guys from the Kings and exchanging them for a guy who could, I don't know, get to the basket. Like, and that's pretty much the extent of it.
Well, plus Keegan Murray spaces the floor too.
Yeah.
So
Which they don't have right now with DeRozan and Sabonis on the court at the same time. But big W for Golden State if they got either of those guys. Keegan Murray or Keon Ellis would fit so good on Golden State.
My thing is like, do they even have room for Keon Ellis though? Because they got Pods, they have Gary Payton, and I know Keon Ellis is a better player in my
Oh,
opinion
there's
than
room.
than at least one of them. But it's the same like prototype of a player. Like it's just the defense first guard.
Oh, dude, he has a mansion of space. That's his competition. Yeah, yeah, there's room for you here.
All right, let's finally. This is the one package that was offered that we wrote down at least. There might have been other ones, but this one was the most interesting. The Suns offered a package including Grayson Allen for Jonathan Kuminga, and I like that one. What do you guys think?
Mm.
If only like the full package was released and who else was in it, because I know what source you're talking about, and all they mentioned was Grayson Allen. But I was like, okay, like what else were they offering? Like, are they asking for like they're probably asking for Jalen Green too.
I thought it could have been like anything, like even like a second round pick, because I think just a straight up trade of like Grayson Allen and a second round or late first round pick. I don't know what the Suns have in terms of picks for Kaminga is a good trade for both sides, I think.
So I don't think the
yeah.
Suns have any picks,
Yeah, I don't think they
like
do
none.
either.
Oh yeah, that's true because Katie got into an argument with some guy on Twitter about how he basically ruined the Suns' future because they have no draft picks to like 2031 or 2032.
Yeah, it was something crazy. But they also have Jalen Green. Like, if they really wanted picks, you could just trade that guy for like 5 picks. So it's
Five.
really, I mean, yeah, this is like a young up and coming player who had a
Yeah,
40-point playoff game. Like, you can get at least at minimum 3 first round picks for that guy.
yeah. You got to remember this dude was the second pick in the draft. He would have been first if he didn't have Cade in his draft. He's still
Yeah.
super young, a lot of potential. They could 100% get 3 picks for Jalen Green.
Hmm.
I think the Suns should package Dylan Brooks and Grayson Allen.
That would actually be really beneficial because that would bring more shooting to their roster.
How are Dylan Brooks and Draymond Green gonna play together? It's none of our business.
Oh, dude.
Dude, they'd probably be 6 together,
Yeah,
actually.
they probably would be. That's the cool thing, but it would be hard to get them to be calm.
All right, let's move on. Let's finish up with these trades here, but let's move on to the Bleacher Report top 100 players of all time list. Bleacher Report has released their all-time top 100 list for NBA players in league history, with controversial placements and new players rising and falling throughout time. GMLB family, GMLB is going to review the list. Fellas, what is wrong with the list?
I want to pose a question
Okay,
to your question.
go ahead.
Do you guys think it was wrong of them to put in like current recent superstars in this list, other than Giannis? Luka Doncic was somewhere in the 50s and 60s. Tatum was 93rd, and Jimmy Butler was in this list as well. Jimmy Butler is 35. Scratch what I said. But is it too early to put Luka and Tatum in this list? Essentially, is what I'm asking.
Yes.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
too early for Tatum. Tatum already has a championship, and I think that validates his inclusion on the list.
I'll say on that point, like I did notice there is a lot of names on that on the top 100 that don't have a ring or like have barely any accomplishments, but they're still ranked super high. So in defense of Tatum, he has done a lot. Um, but I do think it's too early. Like just from an outside perspective, I do think it's too early to put someone in the top 100.
Um,
You got
I-
they got Joel Embiid higher than Tatum. They have him way higher than Tatum. Embiid
I
is
just
66th.
I don't even understand. Like, other than the MVP, how is Luca that high? This is what I don't understand. Luca's a great player, but what has he done accomplishment wise? I guess he went to the finals, but he didn't get the chip. No MVP, horrible defensively. It's like he's a great player, but is he better than like Tony Parker, who has 5 championships? Like, yes, as a player, but all time with no accolades. How do you stack up to a player like that? I
I
don't
think
get that.
I think they just have a lot of weight in the fact that this dude is 100% a top 60 talent we've seen in this league. We're going to put him here. I
It's
feel
like,
like that's kind of the logic going into it.
yeah, it's just that seems so high. And Tatum at
It is.
93. Does Luca go ahead of Tatum on an all-time list?
I don't think he goes 46 spots ahead of him because Luca's at 57 and Tatum's at 93. Like it's a big jump.
Like
Maybe
Tatum's been to the
36 by the way.
finals twice, won one, constant MVP candidate. It's like I don't
Five-time All NBA.
Yeah, like All-Star MVP. I don't know. That doesn't really hold weight, but include that. He's an all defensive player. It's like I get Luka's like a better like basketball player, but in terms of accolades when stacking up to all-time players, I think Tatum should be ahead of him.
I think the way they should have done this is they should have had like recent superstars, guys like Tatum, Luca. They should have had them at the very beginning of the list, anywhere from like 100 to 90. That's where they should have put these guys. For the sake of like, because it's still possible that Luca doesn't win anything in his career, and it's possible that Tatum doesn't win anything more in his career. It's kind of having these guys at like 57 or like 50, and it's like, but wait, like this guy that came in a couple years later accomplished so much more. Yeah, I think it would have made a lot more sense to have these guys, the recent stars, I'll call them, anywhere like at the very top of the list, like 100 to 90.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a lot. I feel like that's a lot more reasonable because what they did right now with putting guys like Luca that high, I just feel like it is not realistic because we haven't seen their full career yet. I mean, Luca's only 26 years old, Tatum's only 27. I do agree. Those guys should probably be 80 and above.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It kind of diminishes the value of the list when you do kind of what Kevin was talking about, or what exactly what Kevin was talking about, which is like, yeah, Luca hasn't won anything, and Tatum has one ring. What if Wemby goes out and wins three, and then another, I'm trying to think, Cooper Flag wins one this year, like then we automatically have to make room for those guys, and we have to weigh those guys against like Luka and the most recent superstars. So it, if anything, yeah, they should have been in like the bottom like 90, but even then I would still say like just leave them out of it until they retire almost.
James Harden is number 34 on the all-time list.
Where's KD?
You'll have to look, but I'll look
I'm
until I
looking.
find him. Kawhi is
13.
He's
32.
13th.
KD is 13th.
I think that's fair, honestly. Well, where's Kobe at? That's the question.
Kobe's 11th.
Yeah. I think if Kobe's 11, I think 13 is fair for KD.
This list is cool too because it shows you where they were like ranked lowest. They had Kobe. Some people put Kobe as low as 18 on the list. It's
How?
Kobe's the hardest NBA player in history to rank.
But how?
But
Like, what
between
makes
like
him hard?
everybody, because you'll meet people that have him at 18, you'll meet people that have him at 2. There's no other NBA player has the range like Kobe does of where they get ranked all time. He's the hardest player of all time to rank. I think a lot of people have their argument is 5 rings, but his first 3 rings, he wasn't even the best player. Shaq was. It's like, okay, we can use that argument, but we're gonna you have to use the same one for Steph Curry too.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you say that, and a Curry head will go, no. It's like, well, what do you mean? I
Well,
hate that.
not just that though, but like does Shaq win those championships without Kobe? And then like obviously not, right? So
Mhm.
I don't know. I just that to me is for me it's very easy to rank Kobe. He's top 3. And it's really just Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe. And then like I don't know how people go outside of that. But Kyrie Irving is 69th. Do we like that?
Hmm. Is there a reason you chose that one?
Not really. I mean, I looked up Curry and his name popped up, and it's just surprising. Some of these names you look up, and it's just surprising to see them ranked so low. Kyrie Irving is to me one of them, especially when like he's one of those players that has had a lot of influence in the game, the way like say Carmelo Anthony has, and Carmelo Anthony is what is he?
He's 60th. But what I
60.
don't like about the Kyrie ranking, I'm cool with Kyrie with where he is. Why is Dame 5 spots ahead of him?
Exactly.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dame is 64th.
Just like
Damian
the top
Lillard.
75. Just like the top 75.
It's just so bogus. And I don't know if this is controversial. Tell me if I'm wrong. Is Ray Allen better than Dwight Howard all time?
Yeah.
No.
No, you don't know.
I think so.
Oh.
I think, yeah. I don't see why
I
not.
don't, I
He's
don't
got
think
2
so.
chips.
Dwight Howard has 1 chip though, which is less, but 3 defense player of the years, 3-peated in a
What's
row.
the
It's
gap
probably
between them?
longevity. Longevity is the difference with them.
But they both played 18 seasons.
Yeah, but Dwight Howard wasn't efficient for like 6 of those seasons before he got to the Lakers.
I don't know, man. This dude in his prime, there was not a lot of people messing with him. I just think as far as accolades and like career stats, he just has a leg up on him. I feel like the only thing Ray Allen has on him is he has 1 more championship. I think he has like 1 or 2 more All-Stars, and he averaged 3 more points in his career than Dwight Howard did.
Yeah.
Well, they only have him 1 position off. And I guess I would give them a little bit of slack for that because they have Dwight Howard 52 and Ray Allen 51. But like,
You know,
that's a pretty tight race in my opinion.
here's one that's really interesting to me. Klay Thompson only at 98. That's the second greatest shooter ever.
Yeah. And how is Jimmy Butler at 83?
See, Clay, I get because he missed 3 years of his prime, and that sucks. Sucks bad.
I mean, when you it's like the accolades they listed were like, hold on, I'll just pull them up. The accolades they listed are 4-time champion, 2-time All-NBA, 5-time All-Star, 1-time All-Defense. But like they don't list any of the 3-point, like his ranking on the 3-point of all time list. They don't like list his accomplishments, like his 60-point, like the 37-point quarter. He has the most threes in a game ever. Like the dude was a threat, but and he was good at defense too. That's the thing. Is like I don't know. It's like Annie's has all the longevity, 4 chips, and he was one of like a huge integral part of all of them. It's like that guy should be at least around the 70s, I think, at minimum.
I think he should too. I feel like listing like their accolades, you kind of have to keep it limited. Because like going for like the 37 and a quarter, I feel like it's almost reaching a little bit at that point. Insane record. It's the most ever in a quarter, obviously, but you kind of have to keep it like relatively with everybody else, like championships, all NBAs, all stars, defensive, that type of stuff too. But I feel like I'm bouncing everywhere when it comes to this list. But AD higher than Dwight Howard? I don't think so, bro. I don't think so.
I'd probably push back. I think AD is better than Dwight Howard.
Yeah,
I would go
say.
Dwight. Oh, I would go Dwight Howard.
I think I would say AD.
I'd probably go AD simply because AD's role in his championship was worth a lot more. AD may have never won the Defensive Player of the Year, but he's a perennial candidate. He's always finishing in the top like 5 every year. Also like the pure scoring. He's aged with the game. I wouldn't quite call him a 3-level scorer, but he's close. He's just more of a threat. And like, I don't know, like Dwight's prime obviously destroys like almost every player on this list outside of like the top 20, right? But looking at longevity, this isn't like this isn't like Chris Paul longevity where like the last 4 seasons he didn't really do anything. This is like he's been a consistent great player if we're not counting the injuries. Factoring in the injuries, then I think that's where you make the case that Dwight might be better. But at the same time, Dwight only had so many seasons of being great. So I don't know.
But I feel like you do have to take part of the injuries because I feel like that's kind of what influenced Chris Bosh's ranking. He was at 70. I'm super glad to see him make this make this list. I'm a big Chris Bosh guy. He's like one of the first stretch bigs. I feel like I say that about a lot of people, but I'll label him and Dirk as up there. He could have been so much higher on this list had he not. He only played 13 years. Had he not had to like medically retire, he could have been like really up there on his list. I think some people even put him in like top 40. That's where like one person ranked him in the absolute highest. And I really like that. I like that they didn't leave out Bosh. But AI at 36.
Higher or lower? What do you think?
Lower.
I think lower as in closer to 100, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have any like
on that.
I don't have any like super harsh feelings on that one personally. I mean, the dude is like a top 3 scorer ever probably. But I mean, he really doesn't have. It's like how much value do we put in a championship, honestly?
Now, if AI had a ring, the hell yeah, he'd be higher. Because if he had a ring, he'd be prime Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah.
I'd put him top 20 at that point.
Yeah.
But
dude, I think if he had a ring, people would put him. You said top 20?
He will probably put him top 5.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like people would put him top 5 or top 10 if he had a ring.
That's ridiculous.
There's a lot of AI.
There's
a lot of
AI has
fans.
a big fan base.
Yeah.
A pretty strong one too. You'll hear him.
Speaking of the top 20, how do we feel about Oscar Robertson being 14?
I feel like that's all in the name. It's just because he averaged the triple double.
Well, the reason go ahead.
It's like, is he better than Giannis at 24?
Yeah. Is he better than Russell Westbrook?
Or Jokic at 17?
Valid. Jokic at 17 is valid, I
You
think.
think okay, but you think
Chip,
he
3 MVPs. Yeah, it's valid.
I'd
wait,
say
say
it
it
is
again?
valid.
I
The
said he
three
has a chip and 3 MVPs. I'd say that's pretty
Oh yeah,
valid.
yeah. But I was saying like him being below Oscar Robertson, like head to head.
Oh, oh, okay. Head to head, yeah, he should be above Oscar Robertson, I think.
Right. I
I don't
agree.
think he should be like you said Oscar was 14. I don't think Jokic should be 13. I think Oscar should be like
Yeah,
20th or something, like above
agreed.
Jokic. I feel like this has just been
Yeah.
an old head slander segment. We're just talking about all the modern players on the list and not
It's really
acknowledging.
not though, because we were hating on like saying like Kyrie and then Dame and all them being like ranked a little bit too high, or like like they have D Wade at 23 and Giannis at 24. I feel like a lot of these people that are like one off from each other, it's just so up in the air.
Yeah. The Thunder had 3 top 100 players on the same roster at one point and didn't win anything.
Did not win a ring. I feel like a lot of the older generation are going to see Julius Irving at 20 and croak.
I was just
Yeah,
about to bring
heart
that up.
attack.
NBA
Like
champion,
literal heart
two-time
attack.
ABA champion, four-time MVP, 16-time All-Star, seven-time All-NBA, five-time All-NBA, and one-time All-Defense. That is a crazy like accolades listing. I could see why the old heads would be losing their mind over that.
Yeah. It always blows my mind that Julius Irving only had one championship in the NBA. You would think that guy would have had a lot more.
It was a long time ago too.
And it was a hard fought one too. They had to like get a they had to draft Barkley. I think Barkley was on the roster for their run. I could be wrong, but I know they had to go out and get what's his name? The center. Ah,
Malone,
yes, yes. Moses
Moses
Malone.
Malone.
Yep, sorry. That's who I was thinking of.
Dude,
Yes.
I was kind of surprised that Tim Duncan made number 7. I feel like a lot of people would have had him at like 10 or 11
Yeah.
for whatever reason. Like seeing Tim Duncan ahead of like Larry Bird and Wilt is like kind of surprising to me because I felt like most people wouldn't have said that.
Yeah. Is Curry better than Kobe?
Oh,
That's another thing, dude.
I've seen people debate that actually.
It's funny because what I said earlier, because people hold the Finals MVP thing against Kobe, but they don't want to hold it against Curry.
I feel like this is just because of Curry's influence. It's close, don't get me wrong. Like it's close.
It is close.
But I think it's just because the influence he had on shooting. But then that's also discrediting Kobe's influence on like just global basketball, you know.
I think what we should do instead is look at the top 10 and almost agree to disagree that those two guys should be in the top 10 further down.
I'm One thing I wanted to comment on the Curry thing is I think one by the time that he's done with his career, he's going to be in the top 10 for all-time scoring. I think his assists are going to be a lot higher as well. So I think his stats, I mean, it goes without saying, but his stats are going to be a lot better. And I think that's by the end of his career, I think people might say that he's better than Kobe all time.
Will they
Just because
though?
right now his stats just when you look at him, his career all time, there's no good argument, but I feel like by the end of his career, he's gonna easily get it.
Yeah, I wish Kobe's career didn't fizzle out at the end. Also, Kobe's number 4 on the all-time scoring list, so like he is still above Curry on that by the time
Yeah,
Curry retires.
I'm not saying I believe that necessarily or anything, but I'm just saying I can see a world where that happens.
Yeah. I still think Kobe has the edge. I really do. I think Kobe's still better.
I would give Kobe the edge over Curry right now. Curry still has time to get number 5. He did say the
Even
other day, "I'm
with
not retiring anytime soon."
Even with number 5, though, I mean, look at the chips. Kobe had Shaq, but Curry had probably the best roster we've ever seen win a championship twice. So, like, I still think Kobe has the edge, even if he gets
I
number
don't know,
5.
man.
A good
I think Curry gets 5. There's a lot of uncomfortable conversations we're gonna have.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. Who knows? All right. Any final takes before we move on to our final segment here?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Specifically for you,
Okay.
Jokic below KG. I don't think so.
Yeah, I saw that. I
I
saw
don't
that.
think
I
so.
was
You
like,
went over it. I know you skipped it.
I know.
I
I was
didn't.
like,
I've
I
been
was
holding
like,
on this one.
yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna ignore that and kind of just roll with it.
My my phone's been stuck here for the past 10 minutes. I kid you not. I was bringing this up.
It's the defense, man.
KG.
Kevin Garnett's one of the greatest defensive players ever, if not
I
the
don't care.
greatest.
I don't think it matters when we compare it to this dude. Oh man. When it's all said and done, he'll be above KG. But for the sake, I'll let it slide for the sake of the movie. Jokic didn't make Uncut Gems.
Hey, but he has a Minion commercial.
KG, the opal.
KG.
I'll
Oh,
Get him
that's
some
say
water. You guys want some water?
on the topic of Jokic and Curry, I saw one time someone put this conversation in a good light by saying when it's all said and done, we'll look back and analyze who these guys played against and how many like first ballot Hall of Famers Curry had to go up against to win a championship, how many first Hall of Famers Jokic got or had to go up against to get to the finals. And at that point, I think it'll be a no-brainer. But for now,
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm sorry, Curry had 3 first ballot Hall of Famers on his squad when he won his championships, his 2 big
2 of them.
ones.
Oh well,
Actually, he had, well, really, okay, in their primes when they're like the best that they could be, he had 3 on his roster. If you include him, they had 4 on the roster. Jokic, how many other first ballot Hall of Famers did he have?
He hasn't
Jokic
even
has
had an
never
all-star
played.
teammate.
I was gonna say you had to beat me to it. Victor had to beat me to that one. But no, I mean that's a great point. Therefore, I'm gonna end it there.
All right, let's move on. The final segment. Feel free to play along at home, GMLB family, if you've made it to this section of the podcast. Some of you may have just skipped here using the timestamps found in the description. And if you skipped to the interactive game, welcome. We're glad to have you. This is Who He Play For. For anyone who has not heard of Who He Play For, I will briefly explain. Who He Play For is a game where after all of the moves, or at least most of the moves for the offseason are made, everyone switches teams. It's time to talk about some players and find out if Victor, Kevin, and Daniel can guess who he play for. So this is Who He Play For. Round 1. First up, we're going to start with Victor. We have 3 rounds. The one who gets the most correct wins. If not, we'll go into bonus rounds. I have not prepared any bonus rounds, but if I have to, I will start scouring rosters for one. Okay.
Don't think you'll need it.
Yeah. I don't think I will either, but they get progressively harder. So the first round is the easiest. First round, players who have not moved teams this offseason. Victor, who he play for? PJ Tucker.
Milwaukee Bucks.
No, sir. You are incorrect. PJ Tucker plays for Kevin.
The New York Knicks.
He does play for the New York Knicks. Unfortunately, that point does not count for Kevin, but yes, he does play for the New York Knicks. He was there last season as well. He did not
Then why
move
have me
teams.
guess?
Because I saw you perk up when I said it, so I figured you knew. Okay, Daniel, you are up next. These are all household names, by the way, at least until the last round. Daniel, who he play for? Bones Highland.
He's in the league.
Yeah, I went and saw him live last season.
Okay, well that helps me. I know I need to remember everywhere that you've been in the last season and what teams. Bones Highland. Oh man. I want to say like the Magic, but hold on.
Shouldn't say the Magic.
Thank you.
Actually, don't listen to me. I have no idea.
Let's go Milwaukee Bucks.
Bones Highland does not play for the Milwaukee Bucks. That is 0 for 2. Does anybody know who Bones Highland plays for right now?
Timberwolves.
Yes, sir. Victor is right.
Oh.
Bones Highland plays for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Good job, Vic. Maybe I just gave you guys the wrong I just did the
Everyone
wrong order.
No, you did it right. Because if we all just got it right, then what fun
Yeah.
is that?
Good point. I'm glad last time we did this and I hosted, we were 0 for 9. So I'm glad even if you like who I gave it to isn't getting it, at least you guys are getting the players this time. Okay, Kevin. Can you bring in the first point of who he play for? This is who he play for, Markieff Morris. He's still in the league.
Freaking basketball podcast. Nobody knows where anyone plays. Hold on, let me look it up really quick. Markeith, right? Not Marcus.
Yes, Markieff Morris.
Shout out Marcus from reserve on third. You know what I'm talking about. Dallas. He's on Dallas, yeah?
Think harder. Think harder. Please think harder. You're so close. Think harder.
Houston.
No. Markieff Morris is not on the Dallas Mavericks. Does anybody know where Markieff Morris plays?
The Lakers.
The Lakers. He was involved in the Luka trade. He was on Dallas, but got traded to the Lakers. Yep. He was not moved during the offseason. He finished on the Lakers and remains on the Lakers. Therefore, he remains on the team he was on at the end of last season. So, everyone got the players. It was just not the ones I gave you. So, I'm glad. So, to wrap up the first round, Victor had PJ Tucker. He's currently on the Knicks. Victor was not right. Daniel had Bones Highland. He currently plays for the Timberwolves. Daniel was not right. Markieff Morris was given to Kevin. Markieff Morris plays for the Lakers. Kevin was not right. So we are 0 for 3. Everyone still has 0 points, and the rounds are only getting harder, fellas. It may only take one to get it. Here we go. Round 2. Victor, you are up. Who he play for? Spencer Dinwiddie.
Oh my gosh,
These are players who have just gotten recently traded.
I know. Dude, where did he go? I can't remember. Oh,
You might as well shoot. Shoot in the dark. See if you can hit the target.
is he back on the Lake? Wait, no. Is he on the Lakers?
Spencer Dinwiddie, unfortunately, is not on the Lakers. Does anybody know where Spencer Dinwiddie plays?
If he is on Dallas right now.
Spencer Dinwiddie is not on the Dallas Mavericks. He is currently on the Charlotte
Brooklyn.
Hornets.
Oh, he is on Charlotte.
He is on the Charlotte Hornets. Victor, 0 for 2. All right. Daniel, you are up. Who he play for? Kevon Looney.
Ah.
Dang, I know this one.
I know. Dude.
He stayed in the West. I'm pretty
We
sure.
talked about it on the pod. I think
Did we?
last episode we mentioned it. We also mentioned him this episode, but not for the team he plays for.
Oh man. I was gonna throw out a guess, but now I don't even remember what guess I was gonna throw out. I'm looking at all the teams right now.
You're doing a good job acting like you're not typing.
I have.
He just had binoculars in his hands for
Yeah.
anybody
Yep.
listening.
I'm playing with them. Kevon Looney, I think, plays for the Kings.
Nope. Kevon Looney does not play for the Kings. Who does he play for?
Nolans.
He plays for the New Orleans Pelicans. All right, Kevin, can you get the first point of the day? Or did I make this too hard for the second year in a row? Kevin, who he play for? Lonnie Walker, the fourth. Yes, he's still in the league. We've also mentioned his team on this podcast before within the last, I'd say 5 episodes. He was mentioned. He jump scared me on a roster, if anyone remembers that.
It's funny because last season, I don't think he was on the league. I don't think he was in the league. He was like a free agent, and people are like, "How's this guy not on a team?"
I know we cut him from the Celtics at one point last season.
Yeah. I am going to say he is on an Eastern Conference team, I believe.
You would be right.
Is it the one I'm thinking of? Probably not. There's two I'm thinking of, actually. I'm going to go with Orlando Magic.
What was the other one you were thinking of?
Detroit.
Nope, it is neither. Lonnie Walker the fourth currently. Oh, Vic, do you know?
Is it the Brooklyn Nets?
No. He is
Oh,
currently
Was it
on
the
the
Jazz?
Nope, he is on the Philadelphia 76ers. Dang, looks like I made this harder because I don't think any of you guys are getting round 3. So I think I will have to go scour some rosters for that player. Victor, you are up. Who he play for? Lindy Waters the third, former Golden State Warrior.
Detroit Pistons.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Lindy Waters III does not play for the Detroit Pistons. He was dealt to the San Antonio Spurs this offseason. Victor, 0 for 3.
I think Kevin has one at least, right?
No, no one has gotten it right. Daniel, who he play for? I specifically have been picking players we've talked about on the podcast. Your player is Charles Bassey. We talked about him last episode. Who he play for?
All right. Charles Bassey.
We literally stopped and discussed who he actually plays for like a minute last episode.
I must have been in the bathroom. Uh, well, that eliminates a few teams. It's not bad. Ooh.
Victor just looked up Charles Bassey.
No, I'm looking up
I
Lindy
know this one.
Waters because I could have sworn he was on Detroit.
He was last season.
I know we talked about the Houston teams last episode, but I don't remember us talking. I don't think it's the Rockets, and I don't think it's the Spurs, but I don't think it's the Mavericks either. So I don't know. Clippers.
Charles Bassey does not play for the Clippers. Who does he play
You
for,
had
Kevin?
it. He had it. He's on the Spurs.
You would be wrong. He was traded from the Spurs this offseason
Celtics.
and plays
on
for
the
the
Celtics.
Celtics.
He's on the Celtics. Damn it. Because they traded for Cornette. Damn it.
All right, Kevin. This one might be a little cruel, so I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. I gave you probably the hardest ones. Who he play for? Vasily Micic.
Oh, Victor already knows.
Victor, do you know?
Dude, I remember this one.
Interesting. So I literally gave you guys players you knew. I just gave them to the person who didn't know. Assuming
What
Kevin
was the
doesn't
theme
know.
for round 3?
Round 3 was a wild card. So round 1 was players who didn't switch teams. Round 2 was players who switched teams. Round 3, it could be either.
Hell yeah, it is.
Do you know where he was before?
He was on Charlotte or OKC before.
Mm-hmm.
It was Charlotte.
I will give you a hint so you can bring this home. It is neither of those teams now. He was dealt this offseason.
I figured. It's not Charlotte. So I'm trying to think of the trades. So I do believe he was on Charlotte last year. And Charlotte just traded for Dinwiddie. He was on Dallas, but he could be Brooklyn too.
I'm already pulling up the next player.
I'm just gonna stick with my gut here. Team I guessed earlier. I'm gonna guess he's on the Mavericks now.
Vasily Micic is not on the Mavericks. Victor, do you know what team he's on?
No, but it's bothering me because I saw this because I remember this was I think he got a bag with it too, right?
I believe
So
this
the
is
sign
one
and
of the
trade?
it was like one of the first trades of the offseason, I believe.
Yeah, and that's why it's bugging me because I can't remember.
Vasily Micic currently plays for the Milwaukee Bucks. He's the Damian Lillard replacement. In the meantime. All right, fellas. You leave me no choice, but we will go to bonus rounds. The way this will work, it is the first one to say what team the person plays on wins. Fellas, we'll start with this. Who he play for? Garrett Temple. Bulls legend. As Bulls fans, who does he play for? This is like
He's
A Phoenix
Orlando.
Suns?
Phoenix Suns wrong, Orlando wrong. Daniel, what's your guess before we switch players?
Toronto.
Yes! Yes! He's on the
He is
Toronto
on Toronto.
Raptors!
Damn it.
Daniel brings it home! No way! The underdog!
I hope to God you guys believe that I could screen share right now.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at anything.
Oh,
That's
we know, dude. You were
crazy.
playing with binoculars.
No way! Daniel is the newest GMLB Who He Played
Damn.
For champion of Garrett Temple. I think the TNT crew literally does Garrett Temple like every year, an actual Who He Play For. He's like a Who He Play For icon because he's always on different rosters. That is crazy. I cannot believe that just happened. What a way to end the episode. All right, well, we have now crowned Daniel as the newest GMLB Who He Play For champion. Until next season or the trade deadline, we will play again. So, we'll wrap it up. GMLB family, we thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Good Morning Let's Basketball. If you want to email the show, email us at gmlbfans@gmail.com. We read all emails on the show. If you want to watch the full podcast, we are available on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. If you want to watch our short form content, we are available on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat at GMLB Pod. But we're going to get out of here. Thanks for spending some time with us, and we'll see you in the next one. With that being said, peace.